On you guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video we will be showing guys 5 cards that are skyrocketing every single day. But before we get into that, I do want to say, as you know, we have our Sports Card Invest membership program, and just 4 weeks ago we were buying these Ja Morant select courtside PSA 10s for just around $700. They are currently going for upwards of $2,000 in just a month. So we recently launched our Platinum membership, which is basically includes all these high-end picks. And we've been absolutely killing it on the high-end picks, averaging around 40% return on our money in just a month, which is quite crazy for cards of this price. So obviously we do have our normal membership that does consist of lower-end cards that are a lot more affordable, but you know, our Platinum membership has been killing it. And for the next 3 people that sign up for the Platinum membership, they can use the code SHOP to get 30% off at checkout. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna hop right into this video. So the first card we have that has been absolutely skyrocketing every day is Kelden Johnson. Now we are gonna use Prism PSA 10s just for simplicity purposes. Obviously PSA 9s raw cards have been doing the same increase, but it's a lot easier to see it with the PSA 10 because you don't have to deal with different conditions, because you know, obviously a card that has, say, a chipped corner may go for a lot less than a card that's pristine if it's raw. But recently a PSA 10 Kelden Johnson ran for $355 at an auction, which is absolutely insane. These have been consistently selling over $300 recently in a PSA 10, which is absolutely absurd, considering, you know, just 6 months ago, a Trae Young PSA 10 was around $200. So guys like Kelden Johnson are able to push these incredible numbers. Kelden Johnson Blue Prism sold for $2,000. You know, this simply did not happen a few weeks ago. You know, this card was a normal card. I don't even know if it was worth grading, you know, a few months ago. It may not have even had, you know, enough worth to be worth grading, and currently, you know, these are pushing some crazy numbers, which does leave a lot of opportunity if you do buy them ungraded and grade them right now, because they are not many out there, you know, out in a PSA slab, honestly, because these were not worth grading. So if you can buy this for $30, get a PSA 9, make $100. If you get a PSA 10, that's $300. You know, that's an incredible opportunity. That's definitely something I look at when a card, you know, does not have many graded, but the ones that are graded are doing incredible numbers. So if you go ahead and get yours graded and get it back soon, obviously with grading right now, it's so unpredictable with the timetable, but if you can really grade these, you know, $25 ungraded, if that gets a 10, you know, you're making more than 10 times your money, including, you know, after grading fees. So there's a lot of opportunity that I see there, but, you know, overall, this card has been skyrocketing. You know, obviously he's been having an incredible start to the season. Kelden Johnson is another young player who I've kind of had my eye on for a long time, and finally he's starting to get a lot of recognition in the sports card market, so that's definitely very good to see. But you know, these prices are quite crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to see me paying $355 for a PSA 10 Kelden Johnson. I don't think I would ever pay that, but obviously, you know, people are buying it, and he's an exciting young Spurs player under Greg Popovich, who's one of the best coaches in NBA history. So, you know, rightfully so, people are paying these big prices. But without further ado, we're gonna hop right into our next guy who is on absolute fire right now, which is Julius Randle. Julius Randle has had an incredible start to the season, and what's gonna make this card go for 10 times what it usually would is that he plays in New York City. The bright lights of New York City, the amount of Knicks fans that have been dying to have a player that's actually playing well. You know, ever since Carmelo, they haven't really had a guy who they can look to score 30 points a game. And Julius Randle is doing just that in these first 7 games. So, you know, if he can continue playing at this level, you know, you bet his prices will continue to rise. You know, but his prices have got quite steep, for someone like Julius Randle, who's kind of had an up and down career thus far, but he has been playing very well, and you can't deny that. So that's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm seeing his base prisms and a PSA 10 sell for around $350 on Facebook groups in these past few days. So that's definitely very interesting. This card, like, Kelden Johnson, was not even really worth grading. Just a few months ago. So, it's crazy to see these kind of stars emerge. This was a $30 card in a PSA 10 just like 2.5 months ago. And currently it's a $350 card. So, of course, there's a lot of opportunity in this market, and you just got to find who's next. Who's next to have these big breakout games. So it's definitely very good to see Julius Randle going up quite a lot. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, which is Darius Garland. And his Prism PSA 10 has been going through the roof recently. Obviously, I've seen these sell for close to around... Okay, so as you can see right there, PSA 10 did around $195 a few days ago. So that's, quite great, because this was literally another $30 card a few months ago. This card was not worth grading, and all of a sudden it's worth so much. It's gone up so much because Darius Garland and Collin Sexton have had an incredible start to the season, and you love to see it. Young players prospering, young players breaking out and having big seasons is something that will always drive the market, that will always drive the hobby to reach new levels. So I really like to see guys like Darius Garland come out and have big games. But if we date back just a few months ago, this card was not worth grading. This was a $70 card max, maybe even, $25. So that's actually incredible. The come up that Darius Garland has had, his silvers were selling constantly for under $200, and, that's a Prism silver. As you can see there, roughly $56 sales, $70 sales, but no one was really going into the hundreds for a base Darius Garland Prism, and currently they're selling for close to $200, in a base Prism PSA 10, which is quite absurd for Darius Garland, but the Cavs have had a great start to the season. Garland and Sexton could be, a backcourt in the future, so that's definitely great to see them break out. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, Christian Wood. And his Donruss has been absolutely on fire. If you're wondering why it's a Donruss, he does not have a Prism rookie. He does not have an Optic rookie. He hardly has any other rookies. Essentially, his Donruss is his main card. So this card has been selling for $135 ungraded. I've even seen them sell for close to $200 at some point. Obviously this kid has incredible potential. He's an incredible scorer, but at the same time, he is a little bit on the older side. But this is an incredible amount to pay for a Donruss. I personally would stay away, but at the same time, this was a $40 card just a few weeks ago, and it's currently up to nearly $200. So, those who held on to Christian Wood have made a killing off of him. And, this card just continues to reach new levels every single day I check up on it. So, obviously the Rockets may lose James Harden, and that could make Christian Wood the main scorer in Houston. Obviously they do have John Wall and, DeMarcus Cousins, but at the same time, those two are a little bit on the tail end of their career, in my opinion. Yet Christian Wood has a lot of, steam ahead of him, in my opinion. So, it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens with Christian Wood. But we're going to move on to Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal had an incredible 60-point game. He is averaging incredible numbers this season, and recently his Prism PSA 10 is running $700. So if we go ahead and search up previous sales on his PSA 10 Prism, obviously this was after his game. They were selling for a lot, but the day before his game, these were around $500 to $600. So, that's a big $100 increase from one game. which is quite crazy. Obviously, the Wizards have not looked, quite close to as good as we thought they would. At least I thought they would look a lot better with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, and they've really disappointed this season. I do not think, that they will be a playoff team, and if they do, if they are a playoff team, I don't think they will ever be able to get past the Heat, Celtics, Bucks, or Nets. So I personally would stay away from Bradley Beal. I would personally sell while they're up. Everyone at this point knows that Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook will average incredible numbers. Bradley Beal was one of the top scorers last season, yet he wasn't able to win. And that's really what's going to help his prices go up if he does figure out how to win. And I personally do not see that happening in Washington. The only hope, if you are holding on to him, in my opinion, is that he does get traded. And if he goes to a fun place like LA, New York, he will get a lot more attention than Washington. But at the same time, are you willing to hold just for him to get traded? I don't know. That's a question for you guys to answer. But yeah, that's pretty much been the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you would like to join the membership program and make a killing with us in 2021, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Use code YouTube for 10% off. If you're buying the Platinum membership, use code SHOP for 30% off. But other than that, I'm out. Peace.